Listen up, folks. Time could be running out to lock in a historic yield at Public.com. As of September 23rd, 2024, you can lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account. But here's the thing. The Federal Reserve just announced a big rate cut, and the plan is for more rate cuts this year and in 2025 as well. That's good news if you're looking to buy a home, but it might not be so good for the interest you earn on your cash. So, if you want to lock in a 6% or higher yield with a diversified portfolio of high yield and investment-grade bonds, you might want to act fast. The good news? It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up at Public.com. And once you lock in your yield, you can earn regular interest payments even as rates decline. Lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account at Public.com. But hurry, your yield is not locked in until you invest. Brought to you by Public Investing, member FINRA and SIPC. Yield to worst is not guaranteed. Not an investment recommendation. All investing involves risk. Visit Public.com/disclosures for more info.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at Bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
You're listening to LSU Daily with Matt Musso, your home for all things LSU sports.
Off and running here on another edition of LSU Daily. Welcome in. Glad to have you with me. Thank you for being here. As always, another day brings more massive news for LSU football in the transfer portal. Tigers now up to 9 additions out of the portal, and the latest is the biggest one yet for the Tigers. Of course, talking about former Oklahoma receiver, now LSU receiver, Nic Anderson. This is huge. We're going to break it down from every angle. It's exactly what LSU needed to likely finish off their wide receiver room here in the portal class. You're set up really nice going forward if you're the Tigers. And look, I told y'all on Tuesday that Mansour Delane might have been my favorite addition so far into the portal class. Well, we're going to have to amend that. He's now my favorite addition into the portal class on defense because Nic Anderson looks like he checks every single box when it comes to what LSU was missing this season at the wide receiver position. We'll get into all of it. Subscribe, share, like, follow me on social media, on Twitter X, Musso Matthew, on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram at MatthewMusso1. All of that is greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, fired up to getting into this. Let's waste no time. So at 7:45 p.m. on Tuesday night, Hayes Fawcett dropped the tweet and the graphic. LSU landed the commitment and the signing of former Oklahoma wide receiver Nic Anderson. This is one that LSU had been heavily rumored for. You knew they were in the mix. You knew they felt really good about it. There was just continuing growing confidence from the LSU side that they would get this done. He had a great visit to LSU, and ultimately they beat out Texas A&M, who was the other main suitor, and got Anderson to campus. It's, again, a massive get at a big position of need. Run through receiver. Remember, where was LSU? Let's go back, if we can, to the end of the season, beginning of the early portal window when guys start leaving. Go back to where LSU was. Kyron Lacey out of eligibility. He's gone. C.J. Daniels surprises a lot of people and entered the transfer portal. Mason Taylor, who I know is a tight end, but one of your most important pass catchers, third on your team, as a matter of fact, when it came to receiving statistics, declares for the draft. Shelton Sampson entered the portal. Landon Ibieta was actually the first wide receiver to enter the portal. That's 5 pass catchers, although Ibieta didn't play very much, neither did Sampson. I get it, but that's 5 gone. Aaron Anderson announced that he was coming back. That was a huge jolt. He was awesome for you a year ago, and we talked plenty about that when he made his decision. But you could see a very clear need. And when you look at what plagued LSU, they've addressed that need. And I say plagued, I mean last season in the passing game. And it's hard to look at it and go, man, something plagued LSU in the passing game. Yes, things plagued LSU in the passing game last year. I know Garrett Nussmeier threw for 3,700 yards, but things absolutely plagued you. You never had a consistent downfield threat, a guy that could stretch the field. Chris Hilton was hurt the majority of the year. Well, you've fixed that. Barian Brown can absolutely be that guy. 100% can be that guy, and it looks, at this point, like Chris Hilton's going to return to LSU. He hasn't made any type of announcement. So now you have 2 guys, and if Hilton can stay healthy, that adds a hell of a dynamic to LSU's offense. But either way, you made sure to go out and get a guy who could do that in Barian Brown. Check. Then you add Destin Hill. And we talked plenty about Destin Hill on Tuesday. That news popped right before we hit record on the podcast. And our thing with Destin Hill was high upside, loved it. Loved the pickup, loved the signing. Very high upside guy, but hasn't played a lot of football. He's played 1 year of college football. Although he's been in a system, he's been out of high school for 4 years. He's played 1 year of college football. So he's got plenty of eligibility left, but he's coming off of an injury. What's a season-ending injury? What's health going to be like? How quickly can he get into football shape, having played only 1 year, and go? So maybe he's the depth piece early, but he's got plenty of eligibility left to move up your depth chart in his time in Baton Rouge. That fills a need that you were missing too. And then the one thing you were lacking still was the true number 1. And you got the true number 1 in Nic Anderson on Tuesday night. Some background on Anderson if you're not familiar. Nic Anderson signed with Oklahoma out of high school. He was a 4-star prospect, a high 4-star prospect by On3 and ESPN. Number 15 wide receiver in the nation. He played in 3 games his freshman season in 2022, redshirted. Really only 2 games in the regular season. He played in the bowl, but we know obviously that doesn't count towards your eligibility. So then you go to his redshirt freshman season, 2023. And you're looking at a guy who was freshman All-American by the Athletic, a semifinalist for the Sean Alexander Freshman of the Year award. He played in all 13 games, made 6 starts, caught 31 passes for 798 yards. That is 21 yards per reception. You talk about explosive. And then how about this? 10 touchdowns. Out of 31 receptions, 10 of them went for touchdowns. A third of his receptions were touchdowns. He was awesome. Absolutely awesome for Oklahoma. Burst on to the scene. You're looking at a guy who is 6'4", 220 pounds, somewhere in that range. A massive catch radius. A guy who can go up for the contested ball. He's really long, lengthy. He's just the complete receiver. Now, it is worth noting that a nagging quad injury kept him out the entirety of 2024. So, health is going to have to be paramount here. How quickly can LSU get him acclimated? But for them to take the chance and commit what they committed to him, because again, y'all, you beat out Texas A&M, so you know they had to come with a pretty good offer. I would believe that they feel like he's going to be ready to go day one and get out there and make an immediate impact for LSU. He is that number one guy you lacked a year ago. And now you have him. And, I mean, look, I don't think I can overemphasize it enough. It's just a huge get. He checks every single box you want from a wide receiver. Big catch radius. Very athletic. Great hands. Runs nice routes. Easy change of direction. Everything you want, he's got. This guy is the complete receiver. He can get separation, which is something else you lacked this season. LSU in the receiver room in 2024 had a lot of the same guy. C.J. Daniels and Kyron Lacey were the same guy. Both very effective, both good, but the same guy. Possession receivers, not going to separate, not really going to hit the home run. Aaron Anderson and Xavion Thomas, same guy. You've brought in different guys to complement what you have coming back. Nic Anderson, cherry on top for that receiving room. They've absolutely crushed it in the portal with wide receivers, and it was a position that they had to. I think if they take anything else there, it's just depth. Because, I think you've got your guys, and really, if you look at it, your depth at receiver is fine. Like, you've got plenty of numbers now. Plenty of numbers. I'm counting 13 guys right now. Again, more decisions could be made and things of that nature, but I'm counting 13 guys right now, including what you have coming back, including the 3 transfers you've brought in, and including the 2 freshmen that you brought in. Like, you're good there with numbers. And you're very good there with talent because you've checked every single box now. Garrett Nussmeier coming back for his final year, throwing to that group, is a really, really, really exciting proposition. Now, there's going to have to be some other things that work in this offense. LSU's going to have to run the football. They still need to address the offensive line because they're going to be really young there no matter who they go and get in the portal. And LSU, they're trending. They couldn't be trending any stronger with Braylon Moore, the center from Virginia Tech. It feels like you're just waiting on the announcement there. That would be a big get. That could solidify the interior of your offensive line. Then you could move DJ Chester to guard, maybe elevate one of your freshmen into the other guard spots. If you can go get a tackle, that'd be great. But I'm still expecting LSU to have 3 young players on the offensive line next year. So some things are going to happen there. You're going to have to be able to protect Nuss, and my God, you're going to have to be able to run the football. But one thing you did in this portal cycle, you went out and got Garrett Nussmeier weapons, but more diversified weapons. And look, your passing game was successful. Garrett Nussmeier threw for 3,700 yards. Successful, right? We can all agree. It was the best part of your team. I will sit here and tell you, I think this group that you have in 2025 is better than the group that you had in 2024. And I don't really think it's that much of an argument. And again, it's not a slight at any of the other guys. You just diversified the room a lot more. You don't really have that many duplicates of the same guy, and it's putting a lot on Nic Anderson's shoulders, but that guy needs to be your ace. And he's got all the tools to do it, and I think you found your ace. Nic Anderson in the boat for the Tigers. huge get going forward for Brian Kelly and staff in the 2025 portal class. All right, couple more things to get to here when dealing with the transfer portal. We know LSU is after safeties, right? Tigers need safety, and you haven't found one yet. You just haven't hit there yet. Tafiq Bayard was on campus the last 2 days for LSU on an official visit. He's out of South Florida. That's absolutely one to keep an eye on there. But then you look a little deeper. Dylan Thiaman went to Oregon, and then LSU was figured to be heavily in on Zachariah Poyser out of Jacksonville State. Well, Tuesday afternoon, Zachariah Poyser committed to Miami. So you did miss out there. That is a bit of a bummer. That was a guy very much on the rise. Would have been an awesome get for LSU, but unfortunately just not in the cards there for the Tigers. It's odd because, I mean, the visits that he took initially were Florida, Auburn, and LSU, and then, well, he ends up in Miami. That's just the day and age of the transfer portal and NIL. We know that Miami has plenty of money to throw around, and obviously they went ahead and did that and sold Poyser on the experience down there in Coral Gables. So he will be a Miami Hurricane. LSU still searches for safety again. Tafiq Bayard was on campus the last 2 days for the Tigers on a visit, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. One more name to pass along to you to keep an eye on. And this just came across as I was doing my one final scan to see if there's anything, noteworthy. And there is. And it's along the offensive line. And it's at tackle. Let's see if I can get this right. Fa'aili Fa'amoai. Fa'aili Fa'amoai. Out of Washington State. Currently ranks as the number 3 tackle in the transfer portal, and per Matt Zenitz, will visit LSU along with Nebraska. 3-year starter at Washington State. Again, as I said, second best offensive tackle in the transfer portal per 247, third best tackle in the transfer portal per on 3. So you're looking at a consensus top 5 guy, really consensus top 3 guy in, try this again, Fa'aili Fa'amoai. Fa'aili Fa'amoai. Told you 3-year starter in all. Started 7 games. Well, I should say this. Class of 2020 did not appear in a game. Made his college debut in 2021, but that was on the defensive side of the ball. And he only played in 1 game. Redshirted. So his redshirt freshman season is when he switched from the defensive line to the offensive line during spring practice, and that's really where the starting began. He started the final 7 games at right tackle for Washington State as a redshirt freshman in 22, started all 12 games at right tackle as a redshirt sophomore in 2023, and then this past season in 2024, missed the first 3 games with injury, returned for game 4 and rotated in during games 4 and 5, and then started the final 6 games of the season for Washington State. So in all, 28 games in college, 25 starts for Fa'aili Fa'amoai. This is a big one to keep an eye on. Really, really big one to keep an eye on because you're looking for a guy at tackle for LSU. You have to replace both of them. And yes, they have guys behind them that they like. Tyree Adams, Weston Davis. There are guys that they like a lot. But if you can go get Fa'aili Fa'amoai, 6'5", 314, who's got 25 starts under his belt and for over 3 years, you absolutely do it. Again, visits scheduled for Fa'amoai to Nebraska and LSU per Matt Zenitz of 247 Sports. Just another one to keep an eye on. All right, that's going to wrap it up here for today. Be sure to subscribe, share, follow on social media. All of that greatly appreciated. Keep it locked and be here next time for more on LSU Daily.
Heads up, folks. Interest rates are falling. But as of September 23rd, 2024, you can still lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account at public.com. That's a pretty big deal. Because when rates drop, so can the interest you earn on your cash. A bond account allows you to lock in a 6% or higher yield with a diversified portfolio of high-yield and investment-grade corporate bonds. So while other people are watching their returns shrink, you can sit back with regular interest payments. But you might want to act fast, because your yield is not locked in until you invest. The good news? It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up at public.com. Lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account. Only at public.com. Brought to you by Public Investing. Member FINRA and SIPC. Yield to worst is not guaranteed. Not an investment recommendation. All investing involves risk. Visit public.com/disclosures for more info.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather, now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow. It's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.